It is rightly said in the Bhagavad Gita, they are forever free who renounce their selfishness and break away from the ego cage of I, me, and mine. Hi friends, I'm Pulkita and I take you through the chapter 8, Ego, of the book Think Like a Monk. There is a Sanskrit word called Vinaya that means humility, humble, and modesty. So when we are humble, we understand that how much we don't know. And it follows the biggest truth that the biggest obstacle in learning is being a know-it-all. The false self-confidence is rooted in our ego. Bhagavad Gita draws a distinction between false ego and real ego. What is real ego? The real ego is our essence. It is our consciousness which makes us who we are. While self-ego is the identity which is crafted, to preserve ourselves being most significant, most important, and the one who knows everything. Samveda says, the pride of wealth destroy wealth. Pride of power destroy power. And pride of knowledge destroy knowledge. So do you know how we change our choices when we are around people? We are a certain person at home, but when we present ourselves in front of people, we present a different version. So ideally, there can be differences between how we are at home and how we present ourselves to the people. So while we are presenting ourselves to the people, we can be more considerate, we can be more humble, we can be more attentive. But there, with the ego intrusion, we present an inflated version of ourselves to the world, which involves presenting, better, superior, and dishonest version of ourselves to the people. So that we can prove that we are more knowledgeable than we look, and we know more than you think. There is a meme with a caption which reads, $162 billion in a one picture, and there is no sight of a Gucci belt, which involves our different CEOs of very famous company. The purpose behind that meme is to tell that if you know who you are and you are satisfied with who you are, you really don't have to prove to yourself to anyone else. You don't need to wear a Gucci belt. You don't need to use branded perfumes to show someone who you are. If you yourself know that this is who I am and I'm the best version of myself and I'll keep improving. So if you really want to understand who you are in real, watch for your choices when you are alone. So what do? Do you watch Netflix or do you rather read a book? Do you go for a run or do you rather take a nap? Do you wear normal clothes or do you wear branded clothes at home? So these choices defines you. There is a saying which says you are who you are when nobody's around. So there is an interview with a Robert Downey Jr. and he shares an experience with a story. Whenever he walks into his home, his family is not like, whoa, Iron Man. Susan is like, have you seen Monty? Have you seen the cat? Then Robert Downey Jr. is, no, I haven't. And she's like, I think she's not at home. Go, find her out. So this reminds him of that he is also a normal human being, which how God has created us. So even if superstar is treated like this at his home, then there is not at all any explanation of why someone should be treated better or superior than he thinks or he deserves. So if you inspire special treatment, or you aspire rather a special treatment because people appreciate you, but if you demand or feel entitled to a special treatment, then you are looking for something which you haven't earned. Your ego is basically two-faced. So one face tells us that we are great at everything, and another face tells us we are worst at everything. So either way, we are so blind to see reality who we are. And the humility lies between these two extremes. I am good at something and I'm not so great at something. In the 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Brahma of creation, he prays to Krishna. He actually apologized to Krishna because in the course of building this world, he realized that he is like a firefly. So why? Because at night when fireflies glows, it feels that how bright I am, how I'm lightening the whole world. But in the light of day, no matter how brightly firefly glows, its light is so weak. So Brahma thought while he was creating the world, he has created the world, that is amazing. But when Krishna brings out the sun in the morning, he realized that he is not more than just a firefly. So try this. To transform your ego, look for the opportunities to detach yourself from the ego. How? Be thoughtful, be productive, and be responsive. First is when you are facing an insult. So when you're facing an insult, instead of being egoistic, take a broader perspective on that person's negativity, that why this person is behaving like this, and respond to the situation, not to the insult. When we receive compliments and accolades, then also our ego works. So be still down to earth, but thank your parents, your teacher, or anyone who is very much influential in your life, and because of her or him, you are who you are. And respond in a gracious way. Thank in a assertive way to all the accolades. Then there comes arguing with your partner. The desire to win. It all comes because of a willingness of our ego to accept that we can be weak sometimes. So our ego doesn't accept this. So remember, you can be right, and you can be, you still take that person's side. Lose the battle, wait for a day, and see how it goes. While talking to people, we listen to others. We often try to think that this situation can be wrong, this situation can be right, and we started judging. So instead of doing that, listen to understand. Listen and don't think about you. Just try to understand what the person is saying, their perspective. That is the quality of a good listener. Now I'll talk about the author's realization of his own. So when he returned from the ashram after a week or two, one day he was washing dishes. It was very dark outside. He can see darkness and trees outside. Then he saw his own shadow in the window. And by the time he already realized that his aim is to spread the dharma and good thoughts and aid the world, he thought while looking into his own reflection in the window that at this time of the day, what I would have been doing while I was in ashram.